Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk about the two sides of visualization. So, smile, hand on your heart. Breathe in the calm, exhale the chaos, and you can keep doing that stuff. So there's two sides to visualization. The good and the not so good. So a lot of people will tell me, Dan, I'm not good at this visualization stuff. I don't know how to do it. I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. What do I do? How do I know if I'm doing it right? Right? A lot of doubt, a lot of concern, and the term visualization has kind of a more of a self-help type of a feel to it. But if we think about it, imagination, make-believe, thinking about what you want, it's all visualization, right? So the two sides of visualization are visualize what you want, right? That's the goal of visualization. It's done in sports, it's done in music, it's done in, let's say public speaking. They see themselves putting on a great presentation and round of applause, There's so many positive aspects to visualization. The basketball player who visualizes the shot before he throws the ball, right? All sorts of examples of visualization. And so, there's also the other side of visualization, which happens by default. And for the people who say, I'm not good at visualization, I don't know how to do it, I'm doing it wrong, whatever. Anytime we think about a moment in the future, what are we doing? We're visualizing. But for many of us, particularly in this mind-body, chronic pain, chronic symptom space, when we think about the future, we're thinking about what we fear, what we don't want, a negative outcome. We're predicting long-term suffering, our own demise. And so there's two kinds of visualization. One is visualizing what you want, and the other, by default, often happens, you're visualizing what you don't want. But here's the point. You're an expert at visualization. You're an expert. Maybe you're just visualizing the wrong movie in your head. Maybe you're visualizing the outcome that you don't want and then surprised when that happens. Because visualization works either way. The more you expect a positive outcome, the more you see yourself in your mind's eye doing the things that you want, being capable of doing the things you want, the more likely you are that your brain's going to put that together, because you are essentially showing the brain through your imagination, making believe, if you will, visualization, what you want. And the brain will conspire to help you get there. Unfortunately, visualization works in reverse too. If you spend all your day thinking about, ruminating on, catastrophizing, thinking about a future full of symptoms and pains, thinking about how this is not going to work for you and that you're not capable, I'm too anxious, it hurts too much, the symptoms are too strong, and I read something somewhere that it's not reversible or incurable. Visualization works in the reverse too, with the negative. So there's two distinct sides to visualization. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is proactively use visualization, imagination, make-believe to your advantage, as opposed to, by default, letting your worries and fears and anxieties create your visualization for you to the negative, fearing what you don't want, fearing the outcome that you really dread. Because visualization absolutely has two sides to it. One will lead you towards where you want to be, and the other will lead you towards what you fear is going to happen. And so what's important here is to decide, what exactly do I want? What's the outcome I'm seeking? Visualize yourself being less freaked out, less bothered by the symptoms, and more calm and reassuring and more trusting of your body. Visualize yourself being rock solid and clear that you're actually okay. right? Visualize yourself returning and living life, even if symptoms come along, but just being more engaged in life than you are distracted by symptoms. Visualize yourself feeling your emotions to teach your brain that emotions are safe. Visualize yourself being nice to yourself, less judgmental, less critical, right? Because so many of us we're not too nice to ourselves if we admit it. Visualize yourself not taking your own thinking so seriously. Visualize yourself responding to symptoms as calmly as possible. Visualize yourself getting back to the life you want. Because if we spend our time worrying about the life we don't want, we're actually utilizing this amazing concept called visualization, but we're using it to our detriment instead of to our benefit. So yes, there are absolutely two sides of visualization. One is proactively choosing what we want to focus on and visualize. And unfortunately, the negative seems to happen by default for many of us who are stuck in the fear and the rumination and the worries. So, you know how to visualize. You're an expert at it. You just got to change the script, the story. So decide, what do you want? Write it down. What are the things I would do if I was feeling great? Write it down. And start to chip away at those things that you're capable of now. But also start to envision that life which you want is not just possible for you, but it's probable and within your reach. So I believe in you folks. I hope you believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself yet, borrow my belief. I've got plenty to go around. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Love you folks. And as usual, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.